What is a petrol head? Well, I guess it depends where you live, because in the UK we use petrol. In other countries you might use gas or some other form of fuel. So I guess you would call them gas heads. Or perhaps the term gearheads or motorheads or car enthusiasts would also fit this topic that we're talking about. But the question that we raised in a recent poll is, are car enthusiasts disappearing? Are they fading out, or are we seeing more and more car enthusiasts springing up? And we're just discussing really some of the reasons behind the responses that we got to that survey. First of all, what is a petrol head, a car enthusiast, whatever label we want to put on them? What is it that we're talking about? Well, we're talking about people that have a love and a passion of cars. We don't necessarily require a level of expertise and knowledge, just that love and that passion of cars. It's something that could start when we're very young, and as we grow older, obviously we build more experience. We become a better petrol head or car enthusiast as time goes on and our knowledge increases. But we also would be thinking about using the car as well as the car itself. For me, a real car enthusiast has to have a love of driving, of honing their driving skills and driving ability, as well as getting a grasp of the car itself and developing that mechanical sympathy that is so important if you want to prolong the lifespan of your car. The traditional car enthusiast would always be tinkering with the car. The days we used to have carburettors, you used to always be playing with the jets and altering the timing of the engine to hit that peak power band when we want it the most. And it's something that was an ongoing process. We could tinker with our cars. We could work on our cars pretty much with a penknife and a screwdriver. That's all the tools that we needed back then. Nowadays, there's increasing levels of complexity. It's getting harder and harder to work on our cars. In fact, to make substantial changes to the way the engine works, you require a computer. You've got to plug into the OBD2 port and change the software that's programmed into the car's ECU. Also, you may have noticed that car engine bays are becoming more and more cramped. There is more and more pipes and wires and sensors, and a lot of that is down to the pursuit of ever more stringent emissions regulations. And it has filled our engine bays with EGR systems, exhaust gas recirculation circuits. They've got cooling circuits attached to them now. We've got a proliferation of sensors. The engine is essentially a lab continually monitoring everything that's going on to make sure it burns as cleanly and efficiently as possible under any condition that the driver might put it through. I've seen many seasoned car enthusiasts completely stumped by new cars. They've hit on a problem and they just can't seem to get to the bottom of it. And it turns out to be a couple of sensors that are misfiring and causing problems elsewhere in the car. It's also fair to say that the cost of cars has increased. We've overall seen inflation, particularly since 2020. A lot of things have doubled in price. Have you noticed the cost of buying a coffee when we're out, or your weekly supermarket shop? I remember when it used to be below £50 a week. It's probably 2 or 3 times that now for the equivalent basket. This has affected cars as well, and we've seen the price of cars and price of car components and upgrade options also increasing exponentially over these last few years, pushing many of these things out of the realm and reach of the car enthusiast. People are also locked into warranties and finance agreements, and most of those have stipulations that prevent the driver from doing much on their car. In fact, servicing often has to be carried out by a franchised or approved garage. And with the mentality of a lot of people going for lease deals where they don't ever actually own the car, they're just paying a monthly payment for the car to a finance company, they are technically not allowed to be car enthusiasts, to get into the car, to maintain it, to upgrade some components on it, or make it run better than it did before. We also fight with government legislation. In most regions, a lot of government legislation locks down the way the car engine works. We have to conform to certain emissions requirements, certain noise levels. And I'll let you debate in the comments as to whether that's a good thing or bad thing, because I know there's passionate arguments on both sides. But we don't really want to be driving around in a car that could be taken away from us or land us with fines and penalties for just driving it because we've been car enthusiasts. It's just important to check the regulations in our local area to make sure we don't fall foul of them. And the ever increasing levels of regulation is reducing the scope of many people to be the traditional car enthusiast. So are car enthusiasts disappearing? disappearing. Well, the reality is there are still many car enthusiasts out there. I know, looking at the long history of our site, we set up TorqueCars, which seems an absolute age away now. But back then, people were very much interested in modifying and upgrading cars. Nowadays, most people seem to be interested in maintaining and running their car as cheaply as possible. The average aim of a car owner has certainly changed over the years, and a lot of that is down to the things that we've mentioned in this video: the complexity of cars, the increasing regulation that drivers actually face. But many people still have that love of cars, that love of driving, and despite the fact that their hands are tied in many ways and they can't do as much as they want to, they are still very passionate about their car. And we see a lot of people keeping older cars that they can actually work on and get to grips with and change things and upgrade things themselves, rather than these newer cars that are very, very computer driven and very, very complex and difficult to diagnose when things go wrong. Let me know if you feel you're a car enthusiast, what you would define a true car enthusiast as, and more importantly, what you call a car enthusiast in your area. If you've enjoyed this video, please boot the like button. That really does help us to get out there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, that also helps us out. There's also an opportunity of getting a membership of TorqueCars, and you'll get access to exclusive videos, and you'll get a preview of many of the videos that we release before other people get to see it. And really, the essential thing there is the money you pay goes straight to me to make more videos. Everything is ploughed back into this channel. We really want to improve the quality and the overall depth and grasp of this channel. And I've lined up this video and this playlist for you that you should find really interesting. Thanks for watching. See you in these next videos.